Cotton Bowl is definitely an icon.
And there's such a strong history and tradition of playing major football games such as Texas OU in the Cotton Bowl.
So it plays a big part in our community of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
It's certainly in need of repair.
The Cotton Bowl had sort of been neglected or left on its own, and it hadn't really received the infusion of new cash and money that was necessary to bring it up to the standards of its competitive set.
Clearly, it's a stadium and a concept that is in need of bringing it forward into the 21st century.
In 2007, the citizens of Dallas voted to approve a $1.3 billion bond program, with $50 million of that being set aside exclusively for expansion and renovation of the Cotton Bowl.
Right now, we're looking at this project in two phases. Phase one, what we've done is actually gone in and removed all the seating, the chair seating that was a part of the renovation that was done back in the late 60s.
They had the old blue and white seats that everybody thinks of when they think of the Cotton Bowl. Those are gone, and we now have these nice aluminum bleachers and new restored concrete. So it's kind of a freshen up this phase.
We're going to actually coat the bowl a color, a clear coating that will preserve the original bowl, concrete bowl, as existed on the burn. We're also taking the seating out of the upper deck as part of phase one.
We will replace the turf.
One of the main goals is to add more seats into the Cotton Bowl. So we're going to increase the capacity of the Cotton Bowl from 76,000 seats to between 90 and 92,000 seats.
We're going to be adding a facade to this seating on both end zones. And that facade will take us up to the upper deck level.
Right now, to get from one side to the other, you have to go through one small end zone path. And we're actually going to more than double the path on one level, but we're adding a whole nother level. We're going to take certain parts of the stadium that don't quite meet modern code, and we're going to meet the code now.
We've added more exits to the building. We've added 88 elevators. There's more handicap ramps. In the south end zone, we're looking at the locker rooms as they exist now. We're going to renovate those locker rooms.
And we're also going to update all the facilities in the Cotton Bowl, renovate the toilets, concessions, provide additional toilets and concessions.
And you can go get to the restroom facilities easier. You can go get a hot dog and get back in your seat a lot quicker. That's going to be an improvement.
It is our goal to make the concourses kind of more of the Midway Fair experience. We'll update on new lighting, new paint, new super graphics, kind of give the history of the Cotton Bowl, integrate that.
So we wanted to make that money stretch as far as it possibly could and get the most improvement to the fan amenities in this stadium that we could possibly do with the money that we had.
And it's about time that it's gotten the love and attention that it deserves.
It's going to be really the crown jewel within Fair Park.
The fact that here he was doing a lot of work with other Big 12 schools, particularly at the University of Texas, we felt was a big selling point. And here he won the award, which delighted us because of our confidence in Harry to do the kind of job that we wanted to have done.
But one of our big challenges at the Cotton Bowl is to try to meet the needs of all the users and come up with a unified facility that works well for the city of Dallas.
I mean, our clients are the city of Dallas and the State Fair of Texas. I think the State Fair has the universities that use the Cotton Bowl during the State Fair that are essentially their clients, so we wanted to make sure we communicated to both of them equally throughout the process.
Well, it's important that the stadium fit in with the historic context of Fair Park.
The Fair Park buildings are sort of a southwestern Art Deco style, mainly done in stucco, very unadorned, very strong colors that are indigenous to the state of Texas.
We are looking to keep the scale of the structure down. We're looking at special view corridors. One example of that is the axial view that you get from the Esplanade looking at the Hall of State. We want to make sure that the Cotton Bowl expansion doesn't overwhelm or overpower the original 1936 buildings.
The facade is going to come around and overlap about 4 feet the existing facades. And so what we have is we have the old historic facade and then the new facade as it overlap.
It's very hard, even with the best intentions, to make something look really new that's actually quite old. The concrete was so brittle that much larger areas had to be replaced. So both the clients and previous contractors are adding all kinds of systems and trying to identify where conduits go or what they contain and what circuit breakers they're at is quite an extensive effort.
One of the big challenges is the funding for the project. The city is bound by the bond referendum. The city's funding is available in phases, and we've got to coordinate our work to match the availability of funds from the city of Dallas.
The schedule is really, really complicated. We have several football games we have to meet. We have the Texas OU game, Grambling and Prairie View, other games that may be played during the state fair.
The original value of Phase 2 is about $30 million worth of work in a time frame that is from January 08 through September 08. So it's $30 million worth of work in about 9 months, which is a pretty aggressive construction schedule.
It's very important to Dallas because it will allow us to keep a very important game that's played here now, the Texas OU game in the Red River rivalry.
Grambling Prairie View being the second one, and they're working on a third pairing of major football teams.
There possibly could be other bowl games that would be attracted to the Cotton Bowl.
A venue for high school football games again.
More World Cup games and more international soccer events to the city.
So that we can be competitive with other stadia all over the country.
So very much a boost to the local economy.
I think that's going to have a positive impact.